So Lamia will be our character for today. I won't be doing it as detailed as the Seraphina video, because the Seraphina video was more harder to talk about because she's more universal, so I had to be more specific with what I'm talking about. Lamia is kind of straightforward. She's an easy character to understand. It's more like Doom. It's the more difficult part to understand because it's not like other synergies where you can just put damage runes on people and it would work. With Doom, you got to be more technical and then it would work. So Lamia is the easier character, don't get confused. Lamia is the easier character to understand. Can she work outside of Doom? Yes, she can. She has to work with specific people like Karnak and maybe Gwyn and stuff like that. But you really don't want to use her outside of Doom unless it's like in PvE. But in PvP, you want to mainly put her in Doom because Doom is like the meta right now. And if she can be in a meta team, she's going to be even more broken because she's a very strong character when you have her built out. In Doom too, her star level, I know a lot of people ask about star levels in the world chat. In Doom, you want to have her at least 11 to 12 star. I know mine's 10, but I'm not looking to spend on Lamia. But if I was going to spend on Lamia or put more investment into Lamia, definitely 11 and 12 is where she gets very, very strong because her passive, both of them right here, this one makes reflect into damage, the conversion down here. So that big reflect you see on your team above or below like all the stats, right, or your health, that is going to apply as damage when they all calculate to 1. So once the round starts, it starts to calculate, maybe gives you 800, maybe gives you 1000, depending on how much reflect you have in your team, and then it's going to convert into damage for each character that is above 11 and 12 star. So Lamia is definitely a character you want to have at least 12 star because you get both of them. You get this one down here and then you get the one in 11 star. So basically you're getting 2% for all the reflect you have in your team, which would mean that when she does retaliate every single time with the passive, she's going to do a bunch of damage. I've seen the damage difference. My friend has a 11 star Lamia and I have a 10 star, and I can already see the damage difference. So if you are looking to build Doom, you need to have certain characters to 11 and 12 star for them to work. Outside of Doom, they can be like just like any other character. They can be like 8 or 9 star because you don't really care about the reflect stacks or the reflect conversion, because you're not going to use a Doom team outside of Doom, right? If that makes any sense. But in Doom, you definitely need this. Her ultimate, again, is straightforward. Nothing to really talk about. Anybody it's like Nyx's ability. Anybody in front of them or in front of the character is gonna be the character they're gonna aim at until they're dead. So that would mean you don't want to put her in slot 1. I'll talk about that later, but you don't want to put her in slot 1 because that's where a lot of bulky targets are. A lot of like Elmer or twins. They're very bulky, very strong, very quick. You don't want to put them in front. And Elmer counters Lamia to oblivion. If you don't know, the counter is crazy because he can apply a taunt, and when a character is under some sort of CC, whether it's hard CC or not. Hard CC means crowd control, if you don't know. If they're under like a stun or a taunt, which is considered hard CC, she can't retaliate back with her passive because she's under a hard CC. But if they're under like little CCs like defense down or anything like that, they can always retaliate back. So you want to have Lamia in slot 2, where most people won't put their bulky targets that can apply some type of stun or can't die. But yeah, her ultimate is just straightforward. It's not really good in Doom. It's good to attack in Doom, but it's not really good. Doesn't provide anything. Her second ability now, it provides a lot. Rift Assault is very strong in Doom. However, you're most likely not going to make it to round 3. It's either you kill them or they kill you. Unless you're fighting Doom versus Doom, then perhaps you may get to round 3, but never the case you're going to get to round 3. You have to be fighting like a 5-team Avengers or something where they come back alive and then you fight them again. So this is a strong ability, but it doesn't really work for the current time because the current time Doom is too strong, so no one actually makes it to round 3. But the reason why this ability is strong is because it's not like the Doris one. If you look at Doris's ult, it only applies a reflect boost to people in the backline if she's in the backline. If Doris is in the front line, it can only apply to the 2 people in the front line, herself and the person next to her. And then if you have a Madeline in your team or anybody else in the future that can spawn a minion, it would only boost the person next to Doris and the minion. So it's not really that good. But compared to Lamia's one, what we're reading now, it can apply 3 stacks to everybody in your team, including the minion that Madeline spawns, and it can go for 3 rounds, which is very strong. Of course, you're never going to make it to round 6. Let's be honest now, you're not going to get there because Doom's very strong, but it doesn't matter. In the future, when stuff changes around, we're going to see a lot of a lot of things from this second ability when it comes to boosting reflect, because again, giving reflect to anybody is great, but if you can give it to the whole team and one more person, which is the minion, it's going to be very strong. But we don't really see potential from this because no one actually gets to round 3. The passive, this passive is very good. If you use her with not this one, sorry, this one. If you use this passive right here would help the other passive. If you look at Ophelia's passive, it's quite the same. She can also give people Sanctuary. And if you read Lamia's Sanctuary is kind of back to front. Basically, when someone attacks you, you won't get the Sanctuary, you'll get the Sanctuary after. So it doesn't really make sense for anybody else. But for Lamia, it would work because anytime she has Sanctuary, she can then proc this second ability, the Shark Skin. When she takes any Sanctuary from maybe herself or somebody else that applies it to her, like Ailia, she would then retaliate and attack the person in front of her. So you kind of want to use Ailia and Lamia in the same team so they can have their passive working together. Again, anytime someone receives a Sanctuary proc on their team, Lamia would boost, Ailia would boost their health by 100 or 150 based on the runes you have, and then Sanctuary will be procced on Lamia. Lamia will retaliate and attack, and then any HP increase you have in your team from Ailia would count as damage, but the conversion rate is only 50, so you're going to get at least 75 from the conversion rate, which is very good. So it's good to have both of them in the same team if you want to use the Sanctuary. And again, you have to have the runes. If you don't have the runes, you're kind of not using Lamia properly. You only want to have the yellow ones, this one up here, because it helps the ultimate. Every time you spam the ultimate, it gets stronger and stronger. So you want to have this. You don't want to have the half red ones. It's called a half, right? You have two reds, 2 yellows. You don't want this. It's not worth it. And then the bottom one down here, 4 reds. You don't want this. So please avoid 2 reds and 2 4 reds and 2 reds. You don't want these 2. You only want the 4 reds. Then you may ask yourself how to upgrade the runes. You want to have 2 dodge, 2 reflect. Again, the reason why you want reflect is because you want to increase the damage overall for your team. That way Doris can apply more damage with her runes, and then when you do get characters to 11 and 12 star, they can also do more damage because they have more reflect in the team. But I've been thinking, hear me out, I've been thinking I might go for what's it called, 4 healing runes. Now this might sound a bit stupid, but let me explain it. When Lamia is in the front line, she's always surviving based on how much time she can proc Sanctuary, right? But the bad thing is that Doom can't actually heal because they have no healers. If you put a healer in Doom, the Doom damage overall is dropped by a ton, right? You can see the difference. You have 4 Doom, it does a lot of damage. If you have 5, it does way more than 4. So it's kind of hard to put a healer in Doom. So I was thinking, is it worth it to sacrifice 30 reflect or 30% reflect for healing every round? But I might think about that. I was thinking about doing it, but I do like dodge. Dodge is like key on Doom. If you're running Doom, especially in the front line, you want to run dodge so they don't die. Again, the more survival in your team is the better. But also I was thinking, would it be worth it to sacrifice dodge and 30 reflect for healing every round? So I might do it, depends. Everybody that has a Lamia would know that Lamia survives every round, but giving up that 30% could be quite stupid, so I don't know about that. But the ideal one you want to have is 2 dodge, 2 reflect. That's the best one you want to have, so please run that. You could run 4 attack. 4 attack is never bad, especially if you have a 12 and 11 and 12 star. The 40% attack is going to be a big bonus when killing people in front of Lamia, so it is really good. And please try to get the unique runes. The unique demon runes are very strong in Doom, because in Doom, as my team, I run Arishtar, Madeline, Doris, Ailia, and Lamia. That would mean I would have 3 demons in my team. The more demons in your team, the more damage you can do with the unique runes, because they convert healing from lifesteal into damage. And because, you know, Lamia can retaliate every single time, she can attack and attack and attack based on how much time she has Sanctuary. That would mean that every time she heals from the conversion rate of lifesteal, she's going to do a bunch of damage because she's attacking and attacking and attacking and healing. each time she retaliates. So if you want to use Lamia, you need to have these unique runes so you can do more damage. I don't have them because I'm working on other characters, but if you want to have a very strong Lamia, you need to have that so that she can retaliate every single time. With the shark skin right here, the shark skin passive, she can retaliate back and do a lot of damage. And then when you got Lamia in your team, I'll put it like somewhere on the left somewhere, you can see that every time her health is increased by whatever amount she has. So Ailia can increase health by like 150, it's going to convert it into damage, and then every time she procs Sentry, she's going to retaliate and do damage from Abyssal Breath. And then the runes are going to help her do more damage because every time she heals, she's going to do damage. So you definitely want to have the unique runes on Lamia if you can. They're not easy to get, but just please try and get them if you want to have a very strong Lamia. Okay, the positioning is quite simple. When I build Doom, it normally looks like this. So my Doom team, don't worry about the relics. The relics is just not for this video. I normally run something like this, right? You would see when I do videos, or you probably do fight me in World Arena or something, you would see my Doom looks like this. The reason why I put it like this and not like that, one is always got these bulky targets in one, because a lot of people don't actually change it because we're all lazy, right? We probably have something like this. We probably have this bulky character here. She has a bunch of a bunch of damage reduction. She's very bulky. She has healing. She's never gonna die, right? Unless you have like a Dora or somebody that can do a lot of damage, she's never gonna die. Sometimes Elmer's here, he's never going to die because of his passive. So Lamia attacking Elmer is just a waste, and every time she retaliates, it would do nothing. The reason why it would do nothing, because when she's under taunt or stun, she can't actually use shark skin. So shark skin's a passive, so she can't use shark skin. Shark skin can't apply the retaliate, the abyssal breath. She can't use it because she's under a taunt. So please, when you use Lamia, put Lamia in slot 2, where she can avoid people like Elmer and all the bulky targets, and even twins. A lot of people put twins in slot 1 because we're lazy, right? Twins is good in slot 1 because she's bulky, and most of the time twins is under monarchs. You never see a twin without monarchs, right? So every time Lamia's doing her abyssal assault, she's always gatekeeped by the monarchs. She can't do all the damage she can because monarchs would prevent you from doing a certain amount of damage based on how much monarchs you have. So you want to avoid as best as possible as putting Lamia in slot 1, because Lamia in slot 1 is only going to take more damage and deal less damage. So people in slot 1, slot 3 and slot 4 are all going to attack Lamia, and Lamia can only retaliate to slot 1, and she's not going to kill slot 1 because they're either under monarchs, or they're too bulky, or they can't die. So it's going to be a waste. So please try to put someone like Arishtar or Athena, or if you're on a budget, put Helios, put someone with damage reduction. All these characters right here have damage reduction. Damage reduction means they don't take as much damage because it gets mitigated by how bulky they are. So you want to put these characters. Arishtar is the bulkiest Doom in the game. Then you have Athena, and then you got Helios. So if you are using Arishtar, put Arishtar there, but you have to have the scales right here so she can be bulky. But I would leave that for a Arishtar video. And Athena would be bulky, but I'll leave that for a Athena video. But yeah, you want to have someone bulky there. I choose Arishtar because I prefer using Arishtar, because I just said to you before, for free demons is going to give you 30% lifesteal, or 20% lifesteal, I mean, and then the conversion rate is going to convert into damage, and then yeah, you're going to be doing more damage as Lamia, and you're going to be more protected. So you want to do that. You could use a monarchs like these two, right? If you're on a budget, you could do something like this, but I wouldn't advise you to do that, because then Lamia would not be able to do what she needs to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Lamia. I don't think Lamia is not like Seraphina, where I got to talk a bunch about her. Who she's paired up with is quite simple. You put her in a Doom team, or you put anybody in there, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can equal 5 Doom, or perhaps 4, that's great. It don't matter who it is. It can be even this guy. He's pretty good. He's not bad. He works great with Lamia, so don't underestimate him. He is very good if you want to use him with Lamia and Madeline, because they all share the same things. So he's not terrible. You just got to put him in the middle in slot 4 if you want to use him. Again, Madeline's also good if you want to use Madeline. Madeline's not bad. she's also good with Lamia, because Lamia can help the minion get reflect, of course, and they do have protector. And then we all know that we could use Ailia. Ailia is obviously good because of her passives right here, the conversion rate, and then we have the sentry proc, and then we have the runes converting health or max health sentry into damage. So that's why you want to have them in the same team, and they do share Doom and Demons. So yeah, that's it. Outside of Doom, it's pretty straightforward. Karnak and Cat, they both share protector. And the relics you want to have this relic right here, because it has a link skill with Seraphina and Lamia. So when anytime you use any of these people in your team, or Lamia for this video, you want to use her so she can provide sentry to other teammates in your team. The more copies of the shield you have. So if you have like 6, 7, 10, whatever, it will be more stronger and it would help your team survive more. So if you're using Doom with Lamia, put this in your team, and then yeah, that should be it. So that's it for the Lamia video. Again, it's going to be a short video. I don't have to break up in pieces like the Seraphina video, because Seraphina is more universal, which would mean that it's going to be hard for me to talk about. But with Lamia, she's straightforward. It's just Doom is more complicated. But yeah, if this video did help, please leave a comment. Any video you want me to put out for any character, what I haven't done, let me know and I'll do it. But I think I think I have a request. I don't know, someone requested a video before, so I would do that. But I'm trying to do PvP characters, what people don't understand as much, and they're also good. So yeah, thanks for watching this video.